Hey guys, what is going on? And welcome to the first episode of Infinite Warfare Gun Guide. Now, this is a series where I kind of break down each weapon and talk about its strengths, talk about its weaknesses, talk about what I like about it, what I don't like about it. So, first off, the gameplay you're seeing is a pretty sweet one with the ERAD. This is the gun we're going to be talking about. The ERAD is a fully automatic energy firearm with a wide dispersion muzzle. It dampens recoil, providing it the highest accuracy in the class, which is true. It has the highest accuracy, but it also has the second lowest damage, falling victim to, I believe, it is the Karma 45. So, not exactly the strongest weapon in the game. Definitely not going to be the one that you can take out 4 or 5 enemies with. That one's mainly the HVR that you can do, which we'll get into later. But what I want to point out quickly that no one really knows and pays attention to is the ERAD automatically has a default red dot sight. So if you don't like the default sights and you want to put on a red dot, don't waste the pick 10 slot. It already has a default red dot sight on it, which is actually still really good. It's still pretty accurate and doesn't sway a lot, and it's really, really nice. It's better than the red dot in my opinion. I threw the red dot on for a little bit and tried it, but I didn't really like it. So that's a default red dot gun for you. And moving on to the gun, we've got, for the perks I had in this class setup, I had Dexterity, Ghost, Momentum, Marksman, and Gung Ho. For the attachments, I had Particle Amp and Quick Draw. Now, the reason I was using Quick Draw was because it gets my ADS down quicker, and that allows me to just be able to accurately fire at the enemy. And with the Particle Amp, it allows it to have greater damage at a longer distance. So I was noticing that my gunfights were, I was losing all of my gunfights at like a medium to a medium long range, and I didn't really like that. I noticed that I went for the gunfights that were medium to long range, and I always went for the ones up close and was able to dominate those, but the ones that were medium to long range, I really wasn't able to compete against. So I had to force myself to stay in close quarters, which I don't like doing. I just run around the map, especially as an SMG user. I run around the map all the time. So that's going to kind of tie us into the next subject, which is why I'm using some of the perks that I'm using. So Dexterity, obviously, it's a reload faster and swap weapons faster. I typically don't use a secondary weapon just because I rely heavily on my primary weapon to do all of the killing. But Dexterity allows me to reload the gun quicker and get back into the fight, and that's the reason that I run it. The reason I run Ghost is because everybody is using a UAV, and I noticed that my KD dramatically went up as soon as I started putting the Ghost perk on top of Dexterity, because everybody's new to the game. They're all running Ghost, so it's kind of an interchangeable one as the game goes on. If you don't want Ghost on there and you want to put on something else, feel more than welcome to take that off, but Dexterity is a must-have for this class setup. Next up is Momentum. Momentum's another one of those things that doesn't really affect the weapon very much. It more affects how your character moves about the map. So Momentum allows you to gain speed over time of sprinting. So the longer you hold down L3 or whatever your run button is, you get quicker as you hold it down. So next up I have Marksman. Now the reason I was running Marksman is because I really didn't have any other third perk that I wanted to run. As soon as I unlocked Dead Silence, I swapped out Marksman for Dead Silence, and I noticed another drastic change in my KD because I wasn't being heard. So what Dead Silence does is it silences everything. Your boost, your jump, your slide, your just everything. It completely makes you dead silence, literally. And so I would run Marksman on, next to that because it said it would reduce the flinch. Very minor reduce of flinch on all the SMGs and more on the snipers. But it was a very minor thing that they put in there, which I could notice a little bit, but it didn't seem to make that much of a difference as soon as I took it off and swapped it for Dead Silence. And the reason I run Gung Ho is because as an SMG user, you're moving about the map very, very quickly, and you always want to be on the move. So this would allow me to reload on the go. It would allow me to throw my equipment on the go, which I have none of. I don't use any tacs or lethal grenades at all. I normally use just the gun, the primary weapon itself, and that's mainly what I was focusing on. That's why we're only talking about the primary weapon. I wanted to make sure that every kill was coming from my primary weapon. And so back into what I was talking about, the reason I was running Gung Ho is because if I run into someone on the fly, then I need to be able to take them out. And Gung Ho allows you to shoot while you're sprinting, and you don't have to stop and cancel your sprint to go ahead and shoot, because you're going to lose the gun battle if you have to cancel your sprint and then start shooting at someone. That's a good second or half a second that you have to wait, and that's already the half a second that they have the extra jump on you. So I hope that's kind of allowed you to understand how this gun works. It is a 3 to 4 shot kill and sometimes a 5 at medium to long distance. And it seemed like as soon as I took off foregrip, it had more accuracy as soon as I took off foregrip. And that was really, really strange to me. It seemed like it was less accurate when I had foregrip on there. And I don't know why that is. Maybe I'm just going crazy. But that's the same thing it felt like in Black Ops 2, is that if you had foregrip on it, it didn't seem like it did much. But if you put long barrel and quick draw on, it seemed more accurate. You know, it's just kind of one of those things. But anyways, I hope this has helped you guys understand about the ERAD and give you a little bit of insight. And I hope this best class setup gets you the help that you need with dominating your enemies on the battlefield. So that's going to do it for the video today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please smash the thumbs up button. It helps me out a ton. And subscribe if you're new to the channel. And please do leave your KD ratios with this class setup down in the comment section below. And as always, let your life be infinite, guys. I'll talk to you guys later.